The big question of the week is Tyson on the sauce.
I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
It just came out! Look at that!
I love it!
And we're back for another exciting episode of After Hours with the Wack Pack. Of course, I'm Dave Palumbo, joined by John Romano and the entire... Well, where is the rest of the Wack Pack?
The ones that count are here.
That's right. The most potent ones are here.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all the guys in black shirts.
Greg's in the chat, but he's not on the show. That's the funny thing. Yeah.
He probably can't do both at the same time.
Yeah. He's. I think he's getting his new gallbladder removed that he got.
His gallbladder grew back.
He went for stem cells. He didn't know it. It grew back, and now he has to get it taken out again. So, I always wondered that if you got like a new, let's say you have your gallbladder removed, and you get stem cells in the future, they can grow back the organ. Like, is it genetically programmed to will it have a problem again? Just because that's your genetics.
It's a good question,
right?
There's a girl that I know. She's I don't know what she does, that wrestling crap. But anyways, she's getting cosmetic surgery all the time, and she got cosmetic surgery at some surgeon center in Beverly Hills, and they gave her stem cells. I thought you couldn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they're doing it there.
Yeah, but you know what they did? They can do adult stem cells in this country. But the problem with adult stem cells, which people don't realize, we have stem cells in our body. They can harvest them from your bone marrow in your hip. Like they did that when I had my ankle surgery, or they can do it from fat cells. But the problem is that adult stem cells are not very potent. They're not there's nothing better than the embryonic ones, because they're the most willing to turn into other things, and they're much more effectual.
What about the umbilical ones?
Yeah, the umbilical and the embryonic ones, those are the ones you want, because it's like young blood is better than old blood type of thing, And so, right. I mean, your adult stem cells can do something to some degree if they, but not to the degree of the ones that you're getting from like cord blood or anything like that. And so that's why, just the term "I'm getting stem cells" doesn't necessarily mean you're getting the right ones.
Right.
Speaking of plastic surgery, though, Larry, I was watching this horrifying special about, and we've said this before, all these women that get the fillers in their face, they go back every 6 months to get them refilled, because ostensibly the body eats up the filler, right? Well, they're doing like MRI studies of people's faces, these women's faces, and they're finding that that's not the case. There's like 96 like shots still worth of filler in their face, like 5 years after they test them. So the stuff's not going away. What it's doing, it's moving around, and it's like their faces are spreading out. Gravity. And even in people who do mild amounts of filler, it's happening. Now, the good thing is that they can dissolve the filler to some degree. They put hyaluronic acid in there, believe it or not, and it dissolves it. But a lot of these women, their faces are like completely like mushing around. You can watch some of these women online. They can actually move the filler around, and like their face. It's not good. It's
well, there was this woman I dated
breast
years back. She had the lips done, and she was really good looking, except the lips, they were like rubber.
Right.
And they were, I don't know if you put too much in or if it got scar tissue or what, but they were looked like clown lips.
Well, what the funny thing is? I think that like 20 years from now, when we figure out better ways to like rejuvenate the face, we're going to look back on the filler era and we're going to be like, what a bunch of nutcases we were putting this stuff in our face. It just looked terrible. Like we're going to make fun of that generation for years and years and years to come. You know, I know it.
Yeah, we are.
It just shows you the extremes that people will go to do this stuff, though.
Right.
The girl that I told you, that one that got the stem cells, she's had her ribs removed. She's had her jaw redone. She's got her cheeks redone. Like she's like completely redone.
I've been listening to y'all's conversation, and the fillers. Like one of my best friends, he's a plastic surgeon, and he refuses. A lot of these girls, you know, what they'll do, they'll go around to all these different plastic or their fillers, and the honest ones will be like, no, I'm not going to do this. You look ridiculous. And they will just go to another one that's less qualified that will inject them. And the whole lip thing is, you know, I don't know any guys that like the lip filler. I don't know any guys that likes that lip filler. I don't know if you kissed a girl that's had a bunch of filler. It's hard if you can feel it. But yeah, my plastic surgeon friend, when he does all these fillers and stuff too, you know, it does move around, and then I did filler one time underneath my eyes because my eyes, you know, when you bodybuild over the years, you get hollowed out, you lose all the good fat in your face, and it like went down, and we had to dissolve it with the hyaluronic acid, you know. And
I was just talking about that you can dissolve it away with the hyaluronic acid. Yeah. And
you look at someone like a Michael Hearn versus I made a video the other day on TikTok, like a Michael Hearn versus like a Hugh Jackman, which they're the same age. And Hugh Jackman has the wrinkles and all that, and he looks good. It's like yourself age. Michael Hearn, he's got the lip fillers now, if you see that and all that.
Yeah, someone was just mentioning that in the chat. Is that true?
You guys see that? Yeah, he's got Michael Hearn's got the lip fillers now. It looks.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Do you guys see that Jax guy? Did you know that Jax, that fitness influencer guy, he passed away?
Who?
Jax. On Instagram, it's I am Jax. Jackson Tips. I'll send it to Dave. This guy was so he passed away.
Oh, I know that guy. He died?
Yeah.
When?
This guy, I guess just yesterday. So this guy used to just send me, you know, I didn't know him, and he just would just send me messages like, excuse me, dude, like I love your content, you're great inspiration. Like,
you're right. Not to interrupt you, he used to send me too. Holy shit, you're right.
The nicest guy ever. And then you look at all his content, and it's all super inspirational about mental health, about I really care about people. You know, why is people negative, and this is this. So I'm not sure, like, if he was struggling with mental health himself, or he was, drug addiction. A lot of these younger guys. I did a podcast it's like Nile. It's a lot of younger guys, the Young LA crew and all that. But these younger guys that go on there and they admit on staying on trend year round. For this guy was on like 3 years. That's a normal trend now to stay on trend for years and years straight. They don't come off.
Xavier said it was a heart attack, by the way, and because he was friends with the guy.
God, and he was 30 years old and you get a heart attack?
Was he in Turkey getting hair transplants, Xavier? Let's get Xavier on the show. I'm going to send you a link, Xavier. Are you awake?
I'm sure he is, but
keep going.
The guy was so nice.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Yeah, that guy used to email, Instagram me all the time, too. Yes,
I mean, he was nothing but positive. It's sad.
How do you get a heart attack at 30 years old? Jeez.
Like I said, John, I think these guys, like, he was pretty thin, but he was fit. These guys are staying on hardeners year round. Anavar, Tren, Mastron, they're doing it year round. They don't come off. I consult with a lot of these young guys, and I don't work with them because there's nothing you can do with them to make them better because they're so burnt out on taking all this stuff year round. Because you got to understand, we're different. We used to have an off season. We would get puffy, whatever. We didn't care. Then we'd pre-contest. Now they have to be on social media constantly, so they're insecure about. And I understand about being lean all the time, about being in shape all the time. And even though they don't have the best genetics, he was probably taking stuff year round. And because I know other guys like this that they don't look like they do, but they're taking tren and other stuff year round. And if they weren't, they would just be like extremely skinny. So
Who is
it's
that?
really sad.
He's an influencer.
He just died.
He was an influencer.
He used to
Nice
Instagram
guy.
me all the time. And
Well,
I didn't. He wanted to come on the show, and I kept saying, "Yeah, we got to make it happen." And I never got a chance to do it. I feel terrible. I know he's from Australia, so that's why I think Lee and Xavier know him. But
Well, wait a
terrible.
minute. He looks familiar to me. Is he? What's his name?
Jax.
he used to be a girl. Now he's a guy. No, just kidding, Greg.
No, he's Australian, and he's nothing but nice. I've never heard this guy online say anything negative at all. He's always about mental
No, he's a
health.
very positive guy.
Yeah,
right.
extremely positive. It's sad.
What he
But
died
what I
of?
s-
Do you
Heart
know?
Heart
attack.
attack.
Oh, geez, at 30 years old.
Yep.
Yeah, he was in Turkey. I don't know what he was doing in Turkey, but
Hair
he could have been getting hair.
He always wore a hat, so I'm thinking a hair transplant.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
probably the
Wait,
deal.
he died in Turkey?
Yeah, they need money to get his body back here and get it back
Oh,
to his
fuck. Oh, my God. That's horrible.
I'm telling
Dave,
you guys,
Dave,
these
did you
guys
just say he
take
might get his money
diuretics.
back for the hair transplant.
I don't know if he went there for transplants, but he was in Turkey. I'm assuming. Why else do you go to Turkey? There's nothing.
There,
Right.
there has to be
That's
something.
crazy, man. He died of like
Greg,
vacation.
These
Yes.
guys take diuretics just to go on podcasts so they look lean.
Oh,
they
yeah,
take
that's bad.
they take diuretics on the weekends when they go out to look lean because they're so obsessed with not having their faces, bloated. Like who
That's-
cares? Like
That's-
it's a
Didn't you
different
know
era
that, like,
now.
Back
Just
in the
eat
90s,
less.
Flex Wheeler and Tom Prince, they took diuretics just for a photo shoot or anything.
Well,
Not
photo
just
shoot's
photo
one
shoots.
thing.
But to
Photo
go
shoot's
out
one
on
thing,
the weekend, fuck, you go to the goddamn sound factory, you're going to dehydrate anyway. Guys would go
Even-
there 20 pounds lighter. You know what I'm saying?
Milos will say, like, before he goes on podcasts, he takes the thiazide because he wants his face to be thinner. He says,
What?
it
Are you
all the
kidding
time.
me?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
These guys are
Now?
crazy.
Milos
Like
of all
recently?
people does that.
Now,
No,
yes.
When
Wow.
you're an
Milos,
old guy and you take a diazide, it probably helps your heart. It's probably not bad for you. But these young kids should be taking diazide.
Right.
Jimmy the Bull needs diazide every day, probably.
But
Probably.
Dave,
That
who knows
truck
what they're
is
really
killing 'em.
taking? Who knows what they're really taking? Because they're probably not getting it prescribed. They're probably getting it all sorts. Oh, I'll take. You don't have diazide. I'll take Lasix. Okay, they take Lasix, and these guys are crazy, man. I'm telling you. I consult with these young influencer type guys, and they're nuts. They will take anything. They'll take anything, not knowing where it came from. They'll just take it.
Sounds like Mexico.
What's booger sugar? Greg, you ever have booger sugar? What happened to him?
Cocaine.
You lost. Oh,
It's
cocaine.
cocaine.
Oh.
Yeah, cocaine.
Armand's our resident expert on
No, he's our
recreational
translator for the new generation.
I've never even tried cocaine or X in my life because I've never liked it. I don't even drink caffeine, but I probably should. So
You've
I
never
can
tried
drink
What
X?
happened to
more.
Greg? I think Greg
Never
had his
tried
gallbladder
X or
removed.
Coke.
He disappeared. So,
I've only done.
Well, Armand, don't
Drug
bother
ever
now
again.
because you might end up dying. I mean, it might have fentanyl in it. Who knows?
Bro, I don't even like caffeine. If I drink I don't even like that much of caffeine that's in coffee. It makes me just like I don't like that feeling.
yeah, I don't either. I bought a thing of kombucha. You know the kombucha tea,
Yeah.
and I go shopping at night usually after late at night in the supermarkets. No one's there, so I bought a bunch of kombucha, and I'm like I really love it. And I was drinking one while going doing emails, and then I went to bed right after. I couldn't fall asleep. I was wired out of my mind. I didn't realize there was caffeine in those things. There was so much caffeine. I didn't sleep at all that night. And I said, screw it. I just got up at like 7 a.m. I couldn't sleep. I went through the whole day and I was still wired out of my mind from the one kombucha I drank. God knows how much tea and caffeine there must be in there. I felt like I was doing like lines of cocaine or something like that on that stuff.
It
I'll tell you
depends which one you get because the one kombucha I drink like they're expensive. They're like $4 a thing.
Yeah.
I get them
very
from
expensive.
Whole Foods, but the one I get is fermented. So instead of like drinking Diet Cokes all the time, I try to replace it with kombucha because it still has that like fizzle because it's fermented. But they're expensive. But this one brand I take, I've got it downstairs. It don't taste great, but you kind of have to get acquired taste for it. That one has probably caffeine, but most of them don't have caffeine, Dave.
Well, you know what? You got to be careful because if there's tea in there, there's black tea, then they have caffeine.
You got the one with caffeine. I get the watermelon kind. That's my favorite, and it has no caffeine. I drink about three of those a day.
What brand do you use?
That same brand, that exact same brand.
Oh, they make one without caffeine. I
get the same. I get the same thing with no caffeine.
Watermelon.
I
like the best.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I agree. John had the same one. That's so funny.
Dave, what else is new? That's why I ran it.
It's funny. It's funny because it makes your breath so bad. I'll drink it. My son will be like, "Daddy, your breath smells like garbage."
Well, there is a little alcohol in there. I like the fact that it has a little bit of fizz and alcohol. It's like a nice little combination of stuff in there. I just didn't realize that some of them have caffeine in them. Man, I was very productive the next day. I couldn't believe that I wasn't tired though. I was like crazy, from the
I
stuff.
think that's one of the only ones. Get watermelon, the strawberry. Those ones don't have any caffeine in it at all.
I had to take a beta blocker. I thought my heart was beat out of my chest. I was like, holy shit.
It's funny because Val drinks those before bed and she's fine.
Yeah, but people who drink a lot of caffeine are affected by nothing. It's when you don't drink caffeine that you're sensitive to it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Have you guys tried Kratom before?
Yeah.
No.
Well, no. I got Kratom from this one place that I've had for a while, but a guy contacted me that he used to work for HG Muscle, and now he's working with Guy Cisternino with his that Uprising, the Kratom that they're sponsored the Olympia. So he sent me a bunch of samples, and they have like gummies and soft gels and liquid. Anyways, I tried the soft gel before training. That stuff is amazing. Like I can't explain the energy that you have, and it's not like you're not wired like caffeine. It's just like
but
you just have this
take a shot of Nubane. It does the same thing.
It's the same thing as It's the same thing as hydrocodone, Larry. These
no,
guys
it's not. I take hydrocodone. I don't feel like that. I don't.
Bro, if you start taking,
it was great, man.
What's funny about Nubane is that once you took the shot, then you had to go train. There was
of course,
getting out of it. You took the shot. You got to go.
Yeah, exactly.
No, this stuff makes you feel like I can't explain it. It's just like you feel like really good. Like
it hits the receptors.
But I don't feel like that from a hydrocodone. I don't feel nothing from a hydrocodone.
Because the hydrocodone probably has too much in it. You're getting a low dose from the Kratom.
Kratom is like your herbal Nubane. It really is.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's very much so because it's agonist antagonist. You can't.
Yeah, but there's different ones. There's one for energy and one for calming you down.
Right. That's
but the problem is
on the vein.
It's great if you're trying to get off like opiates from that, but if you start taking it regularly. I've been in detoxes with guys on Kratom. If you start taking Kratom, especially the concentrated shots throughout the day,
I just take a pre-workout 4 days a week.
Okay, that's fine. But the certain guys, they're taking it like several times throughout the day. They get addicted, and the withdrawals are the exact same withdrawals or hydrocodone. Yeah. They're the exact same. I've been in detoxes with these guys, and I've tried
the same opiate receptors.
It's a good product if you can use it responsibly and if you don't have an addictive personality. So you have to understand that if you have an addictive personality, you're probably going to get addicted to you, and then you're going to try to use something stronger than that.
Yeah, there's a guy he messaged me. He said he was taking it like 5 times a day.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
And he's saying he's having high blood pressure and other things. And I'm like, why are you taking it 5 times a day?
Sounds like Nubane.
I just take it before training.
But Larry, a lot of people have addictive personalities, and so you got to be careful with that. That's the only thing it is. I think it's a good product. I know Guy does a great job with it, but be careful if you have a past addiction problem, or if you know that you're an addictive personality and you can't just use it responsibly.
It replaced Nubane. That's all it did. It replaced Nubane, except Nubane was injectable. It replaced it. So.
Right. Well, as long as I get
partial.
Nubane is like a painkiller, right?
Half the fun of taking Nubane was injecting it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, John's right. Yeah. Unfortunately, you're right, John.
In the vein, anyway.
But Nubane is a painkiller. I don't think this is a painkiller.
Yes, Kratom is a painkiller.
No, it is.
Absolutely. It attaches to the same opiate receptors as opiates. It's the same.
Yep. Exactly.
No difference.
Well, if you stop taking it, you're gonna if the guys that are taking it daily 3-4 times a day, if they take it for like months, if they stop taking it, they'll start having withdrawals and they'll feel like shit, and they won't feel okay unless they take Kratom again. It's just like Nubain, or like it's like Suboxone too. It's a partial. It attaches partially, so it's not like oxycodone. It's not like hydrocodone, but it's a partial. So you're going to get withdrawals if you're using it every day throughout the day. I warn people all the time, and I know people. I talk to people that they're struggling with Kratom. One of my good friends I used to talk to, I don't talk to him anymore because a Kratom company was sponsoring him, and he was taking it all throughout the day. And the concentrated shots are the worst because they're so strong. You know, my friends that own smoke shop, I have Arab friends that own these smoke shops. These Kratom shots they sell for $20 a shot. You've got these house moms, they're going up there that are spending literally $200 a day because it's about $30 a Kratom shot. They take them all throughout the day. They can't function without them. It's very similar. It's just like painkillers. It's not as strong as an oxycodone or Dilaudid or something like that, but it's about half, and it's similar. And you're going to see a lot of more people, you know, having problems with the addiction and all that. People are like, oh, well, it's natural and this and that. Well, freaking heroin's natural, right? It comes from opium. So it's like when people say that. Trust me, I'm very knowledgeable on this stuff. I had to go through all this hell, and I was in detoxes with plenty of people on coming off Kratom.
Yeah.
Once again, Armand is the expert. He is the panel expert.
I promise you.
We're very liberal in the sense that we think that all the stuff should be sold. I don't think anything should be, you know, illegal, but I think that you have to do it responsibly and understand if you have a problem with addiction, that it's probably not a good thing to take, you know.
And I came out and I try to help, and I do help a lot of people with this stuff because, you know, I went through hell with it. And people, you know, the scumbags are people that are like, addict and this is this. Like, I went through a bad 5 years, and how many messages I get like, hey man, I'm struggling, like I didn't know you went through the same thing, what do I do? And I tell them my experiences and, you know, different things and recommend, and you know, it's helped so many people. So all these scumbags are like addict, and y'all are scumbags because there's so many people. Wait till it happens to someone in your family, a friend, or something like that. You know, it is what it is.
How do you get off Kratom? Someone's asking, Armand.
I mean, it's just like, it's hard. It's like you're going to have to taper like anything else, and you're not going to feel good. You're going to go through a few months where you're not going to feel good, and you're not going to have energy. You're not going to feel like going to the gym. It's just like, Dave, I think it's because I did Nubain before. I think it's stronger than Nubain, 100% stronger than Nubain.
Wow, really?
That's saying
especially the concentrated shots.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Me neither.
I mean, I don't see the comments on here. I have it my thing.
Armand, it may be stronger, but when you take Nubain IV, there's a rush that goes along with it.
Of course, you're doing an IV. Of course,
the whole point.
But no, you know, he's actually right though. It is pretty comparable to Nubain. I mean,
it's very
real. It's that strong, and it's legal, which is
comparable.
Going to make a lot of people addicted.
GHB used to be legal.
That's right.
I promise you guys, in like 5 years, all the guys in their 20s that's being sponsored by the Kratom's company that are taking it all throughout the day, because you're going to hurt. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, they're going to be on this they're going to be on it nonstop. They're not going to be able to come off. And the thing is, it's legal, right? I think there's 5 states it's not legal in. So that's fine. If it's legal, you're just going to have to stay on it. So it is what it is. I mean, so.
Although some people have told me, like I talked to Chris Bell about it, and I think he has a company too that does Kratom, and he's you know, I said to him, I said, I tried to talk to him and said, you know, I knew you were, you know, had addiction issues. Isn't this a bad thing because you're still kind of addicted to it? He's like, yeah, but I get none of the negative side effects from it, and it prevents me from wanting to do other drugs. And for me, it works. And I said, all right, well, if you could limit yourself to that, and it's making you and your joints feel that much better because you have joint issues, I said, then I guess it's working for you. But there are people that have abuse. He goes, absolutely. He goes, people who are like abusers of like opiates it's definitely not a good supplement to take. But you know, there are people who can drink recreationally and have a glass of wine at dinner and never, you know, continue to drink alcohol the rest of the day. Those people probably can do, you know, a Kratom dose, you know, before the gym or after, whatever they want to do, and not get addicted to it. But you have to understand there is abuse potential. And there are people that are selling a good product. I know Sister Nina's company is very reputable. They support bodybuilding. They're doing it right, but people have to be aware that it's not an innocuous supplement, that you could have problems with it. And that's just the reality of it. Just like alcohol, you can go to a bar, but some people can't go to a bar because if they go to a bar, they become, they drink excessively and they wind up in the hospital.
I think it's important that people don't take this as a part of their workout regimen. And I think that's what's kind of being influenced right now is like Kratom pre-workout. Listen, a lot of people need it because they're in pain. Some people can't work out because the pain's so hard. And Kratom does get rid of the pain. But, if you take it like any opiate, whether it's Oxy, Vicodin, and whatever, after 3 or 4 days, you get a physical dependence. And that physical dependence, it's like you said, you have to slowly taper down and you're going to suffer. It's not going to be good. So it's best not, in my opinion, if you're going to use Kratom, do not take it 2 days in a row. But if you're like Larry and you have control over it where you're just taking it once, that doesn't really build up enough.
You also got to look at like this, like, okay, do you rather live in chronic pain or take Kratom every day? What's the better option? Well, I think probably like Chris Bell, me and Chris Bell have spoken before about this issue too on Instagram. And I think taking Kratom every day versus why be in chronic pain every day and be miserable when you can take Kratom? So I understand both sides.
What I want to know is, can anybody just train anymore? They got to take pre-workout, post-workout, intra-workout, painkillers, energy. Can't you just go to the gym and lift fucking weights? I mean, you got to take all of this shit. And then you look at these people, most of the people taking all of this shit don't look like they take anything. So what's the point? What is the fucking
And then
point?
you got nootropics, all these different nootropics too, that makes your brain, like Leo, like he was obsessed with all these different nootropics. Like he would take certain prescriptions before to study, then he would take downers to come off, and it was like a vicious cycle, and it makes your brain chemistry out of whack. And
he was also on amphetamines.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He was taking out everything to perform.
Armand, mentally. Does the Kratom affect your digestion and ability to poop? Get constipated?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same 100%. As opiates. Makes you constipated.
So if you're going to use Kratom, you better get on Fiberlize twice.
You have to take Fiberlize with Kratom. That's right. Because it binds to the same receptors.
That's what I was saying about Nick Walker. Like, I think he was probably started. I really do believe he was taking a lot of Kratom during this prep, and he started having more digestive issues. And it does lower your testosterone, but it doesn't matter if you're already on testosterone, obviously. Right. Kratom does lower your testosterone if you're a natural athlete.
That's interesting that you say that, because you know what, maybe people who have problems with fecal matter retention and bloating stomachs, definitely it could be due to the Kratom. They don't even realize it. They're not pooping and getting everything out of them. You better get on, and sometimes even like a fiber supplement doesn't do it and doesn't do it enough, but you absolutely should be taking something like Fiberlize twice a day if you're taking Kratom, but or any kind of painkiller for that matter. You'll never go to the bathroom though.
I never got that on Nubane. Nubane never affected my digestion.
Because Nubane's agonist antagonist.
So is Kratom.
But listen though,
you're right. Kratom does. That's
Nubane you're injecting, so it's in and out. Nubane's in and out real quick. Okay. The Kratom you're taking orally, so it's affecting your gut a lot more, and you feel it. And so, if you take too much Kratom, you just throw up. You don't OD like opiates. That's a good part. You just throw up. So
you take too much Nubane, you throw up.
Yeah, true. I mean, you just feel like shit because there's a ceiling effect where you can't OD on Nubane.
That is a good question. Where did Greg go? Did he lose his gallbladder again? I don't know what the hell's going on with him. He disappeared.
Somebody threw out a couch down the block. He went to go get it.
He's mixing some Fiberlize.
No, John's right. They had to get it before the neighbors snatched
before the neighbors got
it. Holy shit.
I got to get Greg down here. Somebody left 2 couches out on the road across the street from my house. It's like, are you kidding me right now? They leave with a sign that said free. It's like, free. You clearly have to pay somebody to take that shit away. And it's been out there for a week now, and the city won't take it. It's unbelievable. Creative littering at its best.
Well, you got like when my kids, like their small beds they couldn't, stay on anymore. Like you could put it outside for free, or I just go on Facebook Marketplace and I just put like, let's say the bed was $200. It's still clean and in good shape, but I'll put like 20 or 50 bucks on there, and usually some Mexican will message me, hey, can I come by and get it? Yeah, and like 20 bucks, here you go. So
I'm waiting on somebody right now to pick up something my wife listed.
Facebook Marketplace is really good to get.
It's great. She sells so much, and it's immediate. You post something on there.
Yeah.
It's like 5 minutes later, you got 5 people vying for your stuff. It's like unbelievably quick.
But you know what though? It's nice that you can repurpose this stuff, and you know what? A lot of the stuff that like people like us give away is in really good shape. It's a shame that it would get thrown out. So, I mean, like when I had my kids, it's like I wish that I would have had. I didn't bother looking, but to get a repurposed crib. I mean, a crib is a crib. You can put different sheets and bedding in there. You know what I mean? It's still. How long are you going to use it for? 2 years, and then you pass it on to the next person. So it's like it doesn't pay. It's not like a piece of furniture you're going to have for 20 years in your house. So
right.
I think we're all drinking Facebook Marketplace all the time.
Yeah.
I think we're all drinking the same.
Like if you want to get like a fish tank, what is that?
I think we're drinking I think we're drinking all the same brand.
We are,
but mine doesn't have caffeine. It has just kombucha, cold pressed watermelon juice, cherry juice, and lime juice. That's all. Like this one.
I got one with tea in it. That's what the problem is. The tea is what killed me.
It's like it says synergy on it, so it's
Yeah.
I gotta recheck. You know what it is? They always have like sales in like Publix. They'll be like 2 for like $4. So I'll grab that. And I won't even sometimes read it because I think they're all the same. I didn't know. Then I looked at the ingredients more carefully, and it was like, those dark teas have a ton of caffeine in them. So
I drink a lot of coconut water for instead of that stuff. Publix has them on sale 2 for $1. I always grab them. The pink, they're pink or red. It supposedly turns color when it oxidizes.
But, dude.
I think coconut water is one of the best things that you can drink.
I got coconuts right in my yard. I could just drink it right off my tree.
Yeah, you should just chop it and drink it.
You got to get a machete.
Drink it. Yeah. You ever see those guys hack those coconuts open?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've drank them.
You or I tried it, we would cut our hands off probably.
At least
get one of those metal straws, stick it in there.
Exactly.
I don't like to take a coconut really, but yeah, like you go to the resorts and they'll cut it open. You put a straw in for you, drink out the coconut.
Delicious. Delicious. So fresh.
Yep.
All right. Let's, I want to pull up this thing about coming up this weekend. Mike Tyson's fighting Jake Paul.
Finally.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
let's
question
talk
to you
about
guys,
this.
He's 57 years old, I believe, right? Is he juicing or is he not juicing? What do you think?
Yes.
Well, there's 2 things with that. One, it'd be beneficial for him to do it, but I don't know if they test because, like, a friend of mine's a pro boxer. They test.
They don't.
They're not in this
It's exhibition.
Yeah, not in this. They're not testing this.
They're not testing.
I thought they said this was a real fight.
Yeah, but they're not testing. Jake Paul and his brother, they've been juicing for years.
And don't forget the gloves are not the same. These aren't standard gloves.
But there are 16 ounces, I believe, right?
14.
Are they?
Yeah, but
the
boxing ref said with Tyson's punching power, it doesn't matter.
No,
they're heavier.
I personally think it's going to go the distance because I think it's good for I don't think Tyson's going to get. They might each get a knockdown, but no one's going to get knocked out. I think Jake Paul's been like trolling everybody because the fat suit that he keeps wearing. I think he's in really good shape. I think he's just going to show everybody.
He's really in good shape, that guy. I've never seen him out of shape.
The dude can't box. I mean, the dude can legit box. Like, if one of us got in the ring with him, I would have to train. I'd be worried. Like the dude, he is kind of like a D-bag. People thinking all that, but like the dude, that's his passion. He loves boxing, and he's young, and you got young. And
who do you have?
The older you get,
Tyson's going to crush.
How it's going to go. I have no clue.
Whatever it is, it's a setup to a second fight. So I still believe that's where they're going to make the money. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's true, but I don't know if there'll be a second fight though. I'm not really sure if there will be.
There will be.
The great
thing
thing
is, him so bad is he's not going to be able to fight again.
You never know what goes on behind the scenes
on Netflix too. I love it.
Tyson is an animal. When you watched him box in his prime, what did he do? The bell rang. He ran out there and tagged the guy. Yeah. Boom, done. I mean, he is
Jake's body's
he's not going to let that fight go on 1 second longer than it's got to.
Wasn't there a thing recently where Tyson was in an argument with him in some kind of interview, and he said something about his sister, and Tyson socked him and he knocked him down?
Probably.
I didn't hear that.
They got a lot of hype, going through stuff,
No, they're actually friends though. They've been doing podcasts together. First of all, the old Mike
Tyson, promoting the fight. They're promoting the fight. That's right.
The old Mike Tyson, if you pushed him or touched him, you would have to fucking have 30 people jump on him. Jake Paul pushed him and shit like that. And he's like, oh, and then he turns and he smiles and he's telling the crowd, I'm gonna, that's it, Jakey.
Yeah, well, he's learned over the years. I mean, Tyson's smart now.
He's done all these psychedelics, and he's different now. And he views life differently after all these psychedelics.
Yep.
The DMT he talks about.
He says the demon is still in there, that he could fucking.
Jake Paul's in trouble.
He's got to promote the fight, Greg.
Did you guys see a picture of Jake Paul with the white tiger? Also, he also did the same thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they both did the white tiger thing. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
If Tyson is if he is on juice, what do you think they put him on? What would you guys put him on if you had to put the other side?
Deca.
That's GH Deca.
Halotestin.
Larry said it. Larry said it. Larry said it. Halotestin was supposedly the anabolic steroids that boxers were using before the test. That was supposedly the thing.
Well, think about it, but let's think about this first of all. When you're fighting, you don't want your arms to get too pumped because then they get fatigued more quickly. That's why a lot of the MMA guys won't use trenbolone because they say it gasses you real fast. So
it gasses your oxygen,
your lungs.
Intake.
Yeah.
You can't breathe on tren.
I think what the right thing to do would be do your cycle while you're training and then maybe stop everything or maybe just stay on low dose testosterone.
They can take Winstrol and Halotestin.
Halotestin makes you get carved up a lot because it's a glycogen.
Winstrol makes you fast. We know Winstrol makes you fast.
No, it's not take it all the way through training, but just right before the fight, just for the anger.
Oh, just for the aggression part of it. I don't think
Halotestin will definitely piss you off.
There used to be a place called the Gym here, and they had all the MMA fighters. It wasn't UFC guys, but I would sell them tons of Halotestin all the time, and they loved
really?
That stuff. Yeah, they took it all the time in fights because they didn't make them cause to gain weight, so they stayed in their weight class and it made them aggressive. They loved that stuff. I mean, my friend was a trainer up there, and they bought that shit like crazy.
Did you see that interview I did with Tian Clark about the Halotestin? And
no,
I always thought Halotestin was. Everybody said it was super liver toxic, but they actually, if you look at all these studies that were done on women that they used it and children and stuff, they used it in high dosages for a long time, and it wasn't liver toxic at all.
It wasn't, no.
But it's very androgenic. Why would women take that long term? It seems like it would
apparently that's what I thought. It's really androgenic, but according to the studies, it's not.
It's not anabolic, but it's highly androgenic.
Check drops. Remember check drops?
Oh yeah,
liquid check drops. Those were the worst. Those like bitch tits in a bottle.
Yeah.
The check drops were it's trembolone. It's like micronized trembolone something.
The check drops is Mobilarone. It's its own drug.
Yeah, but it's a derivative of trembolone.
Well, I mean, everything's made from something else, but once it changes configuration, it's not the same drug anymore, though, Larry.
It was only for veterinarian.
They gave it to dogs to keep them, female dogs to keep them out of heat or put them in heat or something like that.
Yeah,
and it would just make really strong. That's what it was. It was a strength drug. It wasn't anabolic at all.
I know a famous powerlifter used to take the check drops right before a lift.
Yep.
Yeah, it would make you strong. That's exactly what
it was. Like a psychotic rage.
Yeah.
It was popular in powerlifting because at Gold's, all the powerlifters, they took that. And, I remember the steroid anabolic Millennium, the first or second one. They would have what drug and what are the side effects, what are the benefits. And that one had no benefits for bodybuilding at all. It just only for, for right before something like a powerlifting or fighting or something like that, to make you like go out of your mind or whatever. So aggressive.
I think that probably a little growth hormone they have them on. I would say for recovery purposes. I would say testosterone and probably a little DECA for his joints, because his joints got to hurt at that age.
Absolutely.
BPC
first thing.
Some BPC.
I say that too. BPC for sure.
The question is, who do you think's running his whole drug protocol?
Who's Tyson's or
what's his name?
Who trains Tyson?
Brad
Rowe used to train Tyson.
Brad Rowe used to train him, so I'm sure
Brad Rowe training him.
Brad Rowe had him using that newbie machine, and
that was a long time ago, though. I don't know if he still is.
But I remember Dexter Jackson. Remember Dexter Jackson when using that, and Brad Rowe was training Dexter Jackson during the COVID time near his garage, and then Dexter Jackson was like, "Oh, this feels great," but then after the show, he was like, blamed it on the training and the newbie machine. Was like, "This is what this hurt my physique training this way using the newbie machine."
No kidding.
Yeah. So
I think Brad Rowe's back in New England. I don't even think he's in California, so it can't be him. So someone else.
You guys use that newbie machine?
Yeah,
I trained with it like a few times, and it's weird. It like fatigued the muscle, but you couldn't really train it like right. Like you couldn't lift anything heavy because your muscle would get fatigued from the machine.
It makes you super sore, and I'm not a fan of it, but people.
I didn't get that sore. I just felt like my muscles were they just got weak, like during the training session.
Yeah, you can't lift much at all.
Yeah, you can't lift anything heavy, and then it just like tires out the muscle from the constant whatever the shock that's going through there.
Brad Rowe was using with everybody.
So, what, Larry? Is it probably better to not train with it and just use it, or do you find it like useless?
No, I tried using it a few times, and I couldn't get a good training session. You can't get
it's
good
not for It's not for bodybuilders. No. It's for like athletes.
I think it's like after the workout.
It's great for injuries. It's good for injuries. But it's not for,
I think it's if you were somebody who's like not a bodybuilder or like lifting really hard, and you're just like a gym goer, maybe like it would be good for them that they don't want to train that hard.
A lot of personal trainers, they'll buy it and they'll do the class and everything. I think the newbie machine is around like $20,000 or something like that, and then they get a lot of clients that way because they market like, oh, this machine does this and this, and let's be real, personal training is dead. I mean, how many the gyms y'all go to? Everybody has an app now that they do that they follow with personal training. I don't see many people personal training people ever in any gyms. Do y'all?
I gotta ask you guys this question. Have you seen this latest campaign between Tyson and Jake Paul where they're kissing each other?
What?
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
It's all marketing.
I know it is, but it's kind of weird. Like,
is that AI or is that real?
That's AI. That's not real.
I don't think it is.
No, that's AI.
No,
that's
man.
AI.
Come on.
That's AI.
Jake Paul posted it on his thing.
That's
AI. Look at their faces.
AI.
You can tell.
Come on, you can see it right there. That's AI.
No, I don't think it is.
Yes, it is.
No, it's AI.
AI.
That's
how fucking good AI is now. You can't even tell, but that is
showed it.
Why would Jake Paul post that on his page?
That one you can tell.
Why would he post it?
Look, Dave, we're talking about it. That's why.
Exactly.
I guess. Yeah. It's kind of disgusting.
It's totally disgusting.
There's not that there's anything wrong with that, Dave.
Yeah. Well, now we can actually tell the truth now that who was elected. So
right,
we can tell you'll scratch
your
butt.
Straight. I mean, it's not okay.
Yeah, but
they posted a thing of Diddy with Tyson doing that too.
That might have been real.
Dude, there's so many Diddy AI stuff. Have you
seen that when Diddy tried to grab Mike Tyson's ass on that talk show they were on together like years and years ago, and Tyson almost kicked his ass?
He was right next to him. I don't know if he tried to grab his butt. They were both sitting down, but yeah, I saw that.
No, he grabbed him. He did. Are you kidding me?
Tyson, the one where Tyson steps aside and puts his hand.
Yeah.
Did you say Diddy's son? He took over. He's like got on Diddy's Instagram. Is like, hey, I'm taking over Pops's Instagram to spread positivity. Spread positivity on what? All the people your dad raped and gave drugs to. Like what are you talking about?
Yeah, kind of funny.
This dude's not getting out. They're trying everything possible to get him out. He's not getting out.
No.
He's done.
These guys, I mean, darkness comes to
but
light.
he might have a lot of dirt on a lot of big time name people. That
Well, of course he does.
Well, supposedly
But Larry,
he does, but he's not leveraging it right now. He's not doing anything with it.
But he drugged a lot of them to get the footage, though, too.
Yeah, I know, but he's going to roll on those people.
When?
We'll see.
I guarantee you, he's going to.
Well, he's waiting for a deal.
Right
Yeah, that's it.
He pushed the Diddy's hand away from his ass. You see that?
Show the whole clip, can you?
I don't know. They might ding us for it, so I don't want to show the whole thing. But
the dude can't even help him. He can't help himself. He's just so perverted.
No, because he's so used to it doing it.
Yeah.
There's also, you see that they had Justin Bieber as a kid on. They were on, him and Diddy were on some talk show, and Bieber's like, "Yeah, I'm driving the Lambo this weekend," and the host is like, "Oh, you're driving the Lambo?" And Diddy's like, "Well, Justin knows that there's some things you don't talk about what you do with Diddy behind scenes, behind the closed doors, and like he's like almost warning him, like, you better keep your mouth shut, kid.
It's kind of sad with Justin Bieber. He went through all those mental, breakdowns and all that the dude was literally groomed and raped. It's sad.
Yeah, terrible. So anyway, let's I mean, do you think this Tyson fight's going to be real, or do you think it's? I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some showmanship, but is it actually going to be a real fight? Or is it like a WWE thing?
I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be real. No way. I just
the last few fights that Tyson did, they were not real.
I don't see it being real.
When he did Roy Jones, that wasn't real.
You don't think? I think that was.
Real. That was just body shots. They were only allowed to do body shots, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, no headshots allowed.
Right. I mean,
was that really what the rule was in that fight?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's boring.
Makes it not real.
Boring as shit. That's so boring.
Yeah. We want to see some blood and shit like that.
Yeah, a lot of blood.
Get busted open.
We want to see Mike Tyson go out there and knock Jake the F out, right? That's what we all want to see.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll do that. if it's good for business.
This fight. My prediction is this fight is going to last 4 seconds. The bell's going to ring. Tyson's going to run out there, tag him in the head, and that's it. Done. Just like
I don't think Tyson's capable of knocking him out.
Are you kidding? Have you seen him training? That guy is like, there's almost no difference between now and 20 years ago.
It's all. Yeah, I mean, can he sustain that, John? For any?
I think he could sustain it. I think he could even more now than before. He's lightning fast. He's so fast and so powerful. Jake Paul is going to die. There's no way.
I don't know about a headshot.
I think it's going to go the rounds.
I don't know about a headshot, but I know Mike Tyson's going to beat the hell out of his body because you see him punch in the bag. Because John, he didn't do too many headshots in his last couple of fights.
I'm going to tell you something. The experts are all saying that if he lasts, if Jake Paul just fucking sticks and lasts for literally a couple rounds, Tyson's done. His wind is shot. But
whose cardio is going to be better? Jake Paul's cardio is going to be better, 100%.
100% better.
He's a kid. He's young. Let's be honest. He is strong. He's been boxing. He loves boxing, even though he's a social media guy. Like he really does love boxing. That's his passion.
Did you see that thing where he supposedly bench pressed 500 pounds?
Yeah,
that was totally fake weight. So that was not real.
They're trying to hype shit up. I still don't believe this fight's real. If the Mike Tyson, you're not going to push Mike Tyson. He's going to be like, okay, wait till the fight, Jake. He's not bullshit. The old Mike Tyson would have grabbed his ear and fucking bit him.
I'll be right back.
No
but
way.
Greg, are you the same guy as you were in your 20s? No,
fuck. Are you kidding me? I fucking, if I tie my shoelaces and stand up too fast, I faint. You know what I mean?
Did you pick up a couch on the curb? Is that where you went?
No. They're right outside my house, fucking with the goddamn. I have a Verizon, so they're fooling around with the Verizon line. So they keep cutting me out. I'm going crazy.
I was wondering what was going on.
I can't even get on the phone. Can't get computer. Can't get phone. He's right there. He's right outside. I could see him through my window.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, I got bad timing, man. He's got bad fucking timing. It's killing
What
me.
do you guys think about this upcoming bodybuilding show in Prague this coming weekend? IFBB Pro Show. Chris Bumstead making his open class debut against Martin Fitzwater and Sean Clarita and company. How do you think he's going to do?
I'll tell you what I think.
What?
Well, I think okay, Chris has got that great
He's a
shape.
six-time Olympia champ. Going
He's
into
got-
the open class. So.
Yeah, but
Martin's got great condition. But you haven't seen them standing next to each other.
Yeah, you have. They're training together. Then there's training videos of them training right next to each other.
Yeah, but that's different than on a bodybuilding stage.
Yeah,
When
but
you
that
got
was
the
the
lines.
when Martin stands next to him, Chris looks skinny next to him.
Yeah, he does. But on stage, things look totally different, though.
Yeah, well,
I would think Chris might end up being leaner. Like he might end up being more conditioned. But although Martin's really conditioned too, but Chris's conditioning for the Olympia was outstanding. So if he can,
Chris has
he
more lines, but Martin has that body. But Martin's a bodybuilder.
they both weigh the exact same, and Martin's 6 inches shorter.
Right.
Is that Bumstead? I can't see.
That's Bumstead.
Larry, do you see him
looks
placing
skinny in the legs.
top 3? You see him placing 3rd or 4th?
Yeah, because who else is in it besides Martin?
Horse MD, right? Can he beat Horse MD?
Maybe because Horse
I got news for you. He's gonna have trouble beating Clarita.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be 1 and 2. I think Martin's gonna be first, and I think Chris is gonna be second.
Yeah,
where does Sean come in?
3rd or 4th.
3rd or 4th.
It depends on if Sean comes in if he comes in the way he was at Olympia. No, but now he's looking fuller again. If he comes in like at his all-time best, he could do good.
Right.
Yeah.
When he won that show against Sergio Oliva Jr.
Reno,
he looked amazing.
Yeah.
So if
let me ask you guys this question: does anyone beat Chris Bumstead in the front lat spread?
No.
How about a side chest?
Martin wins that.
I don't know. Does he?
Yeah, I think he does.
Man.
I think Bumstead might win that side chest shot.
Yeah, he's got that fibrous. He's got those fibers that Martin don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm friends with Martin. We trained together. Martin, we trained him.
Andrea Presti also in the show.
There is a size difference.
His legs almost look skinny there, though.
But they're not on stage, though.
No, I know. I've seen him. I love that guy's physique. I love that physique. That's the way things should be.
If he wins by some miracle, do you think we see him at the Olympia in the Open?
Yeah.
No.
He already said he's not going to do it. He said he's just doing this for
Said
fun.
if he wins, he might do it.
But he also said he was retiring, and then he's doing a pro bodybuilding show.
Well, I think maybe he just got sick of doing men's classic physique. Maybe he wants to do something different.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a hard time in classic physique next year against Mike the Badass. So
he's not doing it. He's done. He's retired.
If he were to compete again, I don't know how well he'd do against Mike.
Mike pushed him. Yeah,
Mike pushed him.
I mean, this is a pretty good side chest pose. I mean, that side leg is ridiculous. I don't think anyone beats him in the side chest.
Pull up the picture from the Olympia of him and Mike next to each other, and Mike is what, like 170 pounds,
and Mike looks thick.
Mike's
thick.
not 170 pounds. He's more than that. Probably like 200.
I don't think he could be 200 because the height weight category.
Yeah,
no, he's lighter than that, Dave. I remember he's around like 180 something, I think.
Yeah, because he's only 5.
I think Sommerfeld's bones are hollow because you know what? He looks enormous for that.
Yeah, I know. But remember, he's got the height weight restriction on him. For his height, he can only be a certain weight.
Well, I'm saying, let's say Bumstead comes in, 5 or 6 pounds heavier than the Olympia where he was restricted.
He's still looking skinny next to Martin.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. But we're just speculating, obviously. I mean, he's got impressive gifts. He's a much better poser than Martin. And I love Martin. Don't get me wrong. I love Martin's physique. I'm his number one fan. I'm the guy who's always saying he should have been a third at the Olympia. But I think Bumstead's got a lot of gifts. I'm just saying it might not be a foregone conclusion that he loses.
Look at him compared to in a side chest compared to Mike.
I think Mike can do open bodybuilding. He's that good. I think that Mike's a better bodybuilder than Chris Bumstead is. I think Chris is a better classic guy, but Mike is an excellent bodybuilder. He would do very well in the open class.
I mean,
But how do you
besides
think
the
Mike
top,
would do it
the
against
top
Fitzwater?
three. No,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Martin's going to win in bodybuilding.
All right, so let's fantasize for a minute. Let's say Bumstead somehow pulls off the victory because maybe Martin comes in off and some of the other guys are not at their best. Will he do the Olympia in 25? Or here's a better one. Will he do the Arnold Classic? Will Arnold come to him and say, hey, do my show? Because the guy's got 25 million followers. That's certainly going to help the Arnold Classic.
Dude, he's bored. Okay, you retire at 30. That's so young. He's got money.
He's 29.
He's going to get bored. Like, the dude's going to get bored.
I guess
if he wins Prague, does he do the Arnold Classic?
I guess it depends on how much money they throw at him.
Does Arnold make the phone call and say, do my show? John, what do you think?
I think he would, because that's Arnold's kind of body. He likes that, aesthetic look. So if he wins in Prague, I could definitely see Arnold asking him. Sure.
And who can say no to Arnold?
Question.
Well, he'll probably get an invite.
Of course he will, but I think that Arnold might even sweeten the pot.
They might.
I'd hate to interrupt this interesting.
Think how much money that's going to bring if he's there, and excitement.
I want to
just because his name.
Greg loves bodybuilding.
I do, but I mean, this is like we're going back. This is it's like guys are like, yeah, this sucks.
So we can't talk about bodybuilding.
You're the one who said the Classic is the best.
I love
part of the whole bodybuilding.
I think it's great. I think Bumstead should win, but we were facetious back and forth.
What do you want to talk about, Greg? What do you want to talk about?
John Romano, quick question, John.
Animals or trannies?
What do you think of Judge Marsan not fucking dropping the charges against fucking Trump? And they're saying he wants to draw it out till Trump is done after 4 years.
I'm not done talking about bodybuilding. We're not talking about this yet. Hold on. Let's come back.
I definitely don't want to talk about politics.
No, I don't want to go. I do want to bring up one more thing. Seth, have you guys seen what Seth Feroce looks like recently?
Looks amazing right now.
Yeah.
This guy is unbelievable.
I'll tell you what.
I had him on the show about a year ago, and I said, "Why don't you make a comeback? You're young still, He's like, "I don't know. I mean, I thought about it. Maybe I would." And look at he's back on cycle. The guy looks insane. Look at him.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a good guy too. I know Seth.
He's a really good guy.
He was heavy as a kid. He was chubby. He said he was a chubby.
You know what's interesting though? For a few years, he was like all anti-steroid and don't do bodybuilding and all this. Right. And now all of a sudden, he's making a comeback.
He's like, fuck it, I don't care. Yeah, he's like, yeah.
We're all crazy.
Yeah,
we all go back and forth. We're crazy, and his body can obviously respond. And he disappeared for years. I think Hani and him had a little falling out because I think he got over diuretic for a show, and they had a little falling out where him and Hani didn't talk for a while. And then he just stayed small for years, and then he got that bug again because we're all crazy and with this bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm. I think he'd make a great comeback. I think he should definitely
212. Yeah,
he's only in his 30s, right?
No, he's 38.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's in his 30s still. Yeah, he's still young.
38. Yeah. It
He's
just matters how much wear and tear he has. Like he's injury free. He don't have any tears and surgeries and all this bullshit like a lot of us. And
and he was on so long that he didn't respond well.
He has great genetics. That's the thing. He's a hyper responder. You put him on juice and he just grows.
He's like 5'6", I believe, and he's big.
He should do the open too. I wouldn't do 212 if I were him. I would do open class, man.
You don't weigh that much, though. You don't weigh that much, though.
Lewis.
People are bored of the 212. They want to see. Lee Priest said it best. If you're good enough, do the open class, put it on the line, and see how you can do. I think Feroce can definitely stand in that open class.
I'm not a fan of 212.
Keon Pearson's the best bodybuilder in the world.
He might be. He might be.
It could be.
He just might be.
I think you're right.
Who?
Structurally, conditioning, he's got it all. He doesn't have any weaknesses. He's just short, but that's his only weakness.
Who are we talking about?
Keon Pearson.
Keon Pearson.
Yeah.
He used to train at Destination right down the street from me, and I would see him all the time. In person, it's crazy. He's so small in person, short and just like not wide and compact. Yeah. And when he strips down, you're like, what is that? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But just in clothes, he looks.
Yeah, and by the way,
tiny.
He wasn't even top of the weight class. He was under 212. So he's
only 200. He's only 200 pounds.
Plenty of room to improve in that class.
He should be in the open class though, definitely at some point, because he could win the Olympia.
I'm not a fan of 212. I never liked that. Like like Lee Priest said, like have them all compete in one class. Like I never was a fan of 212 or 202 or any of that.
How tall is this guy?
Sure.
Dave was trying to persuade him at the interview.
5'5".
Your height.
On a good day, he might be 5'5".
Dave, you were trying to convince him to the open with his girlfriend there.
Yeah.
He might be 5'6". He might be 5'6", I would say.
Yeah, I think he's.
I see all these guys. I see all these guys in person because they all. Gasp is out of destination, which is 15 minutes down there. I haven't been there in like a year, but I would go there often, and because I was sponsored by Gasp for 5 years, so. But all those guys are moving here now because the Gasp, they have all the get-togethers and all that, and when I was with the team though, like we would have all those get-togethers at Michael's house, owner of Gasp, and I just never enjoyed the thing because certain things the owner would say about like sponsoring people. Like he said this one time, like Americans are so stupid, I could give them a free shirt and they'll post anything. It was true.
He's right. He's right.
Yeah,
unfortunately, yeah.
It was true.
It's true though.
Between Keon when he started versus now.
But Keon was also natural for a very long time.
That was natural on the left at 180 pounds. Now he's 201.
I mean, even natural, everybody knew he had what it took.
Because PJ Braun discovered him, and then Flex Wheeler had him for a while and helped him out.
Actually, no, PJ was the first guy to help him, and really when he started using juice, I think. He actually messaged me, I think, before anyone, and he was sending me pictures of himself, like all natural, just hitting poses in the grass. I said, "You're unbelievable." I said, "You could win the Olympia." I said it tongue in cheek, but just I saw the structure. I said, if this guy's natural, I didn't, I said, if he ever took gear, he'd be unbelievable. Yeah. And I was the first person to actually mention him. And then I know PJ actually helped him when I think he first started using gear, and he looked really good under PJ. And then, I mean, he's just progressed from there. He's like a short Ronnie Coleman. I mean, the guy's unbelievable. I mean, look at the pictures of him from 2019. I mean, this was natural.
I mean, he's got perfect shape.
Or was this Sid? Was this when he won the first show on Juice? I think this might have been the first time he took Juice. Yeah.
But the changes he made from last year to this year were huge.
He got in shape this year. That's why.
Well, he wouldn't suffer before. He didn't suffer on his diet, and
that was the first time he took Juice when PJ was helping him. Yeah, I mean, he made insane gains that first.
And Dave, as ripped as this guy was, when we saw him, his face wasn't sunk in. He had like none of
their faces get sucked in anymore. All their faces none of them get sucked in.
He was in shape. He was in shape though. Yeah, he was in shape. No, when he competed the year before and he won the Olympia, which I thought he was, I didn't have him winning because he wasn't lean enough for my liking. This year it was a huge difference. This year he brought it. There was no doubt this guy dominated that lineup. He was unbeatable, and it was really impressive to see him in person. Really,
I remember it was funny because when Keon had all the potential, and they were posting pictures and all that. I commented on a picture. I said, he has great potential. He just doesn't come in shape. And then I saw him at the gym probably a couple months later, and he was, walked past each other, hey, what's up, man? And he was just like mad dogging me, like didn't even say hi back. I was like, are you that sensitive, dude? I gave you constructive criticism on a post, and you're that sensitive, These guys are so sensitive, man.
Well, all the constructive criticism helped him actually because he came in a lot better this year. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking about him.
Your gallbladder's on trend.
My God, my gallbladder. I don't know. It's probably jacked somewhere and everything. I don't know. It's in a bottle right now somewhere. They have it stuck in a jar.
2025, the gallbladder's talk goes away, right?
Yeah, it'll never happen. They'll never say. I was worried about my sugar, not my gallbladder, but I'll never hear the end of it.
Lee's right. His upper body's like Brian Buchanan, but he's got better legs. 100%.
Yeah.
Wait, is that
Brian
really
Buchanan? You're right. That front little bicep with the vacuum and the taper, it's so much like Brian Buchanan.
Same look, except Brian Buchanan was taller, though. That's why I think,
Did you ever see what Brian Buchanan looks like now?
No.
He
What does he look like?
He's fat. He's got a big fat waist like this.
Really?
No.
Brian Buchanan today. Google what he looks like today.
Wow.
Dude, I remember I was backstage. I seen him in person. His waist was this small. You can see him now.
Guys, didn't he have a 28-inch or 29-inch waist?
Oh, dude, it was sick. It looked
they say 27, but I don't believe that.
It was fucking crazy. His waist, his hips, everything. But he's fat now. He's like a lard. Do you see it, Dave? Google Brian Buchanan today.
I'm trying to find a picture of what he looked like back then first to show you guys.
He's like a lard now.
Brian Buchanan probably had the most sculpturistic front double bicep with the vacuum ever.
You know who else? Tony Pearson had a really good. He was small, but he was big. He was jacked. I still like Victor Martinez.
Do you remember the one where Brian Buchanan looked like he was being carved out and he was doing it like that? And it looked like that was classic, man.
Now, but look what he looks like today.
Speaking about interviews, I saw Tony Freeman did an interview with Muscle and Fitness like 5 days ago, and he was mentioning Dave on there several times about Dave, you helping him and introducing him to keto and all that on there.
Right. Yeah, his body worked great on that diet. I mean, it really.
He said he only needed like a little bit of carbs to carb up. What do you guys use? Barely any carbs, and he would just
one day of carbs, maybe. Yeah. I really believe that Tony could have won the Olympia in 08. It wasn't a political. If he was in the right political position, because everyone thought Jay was going to win, and then when Jay came in really off, Dexter was like the next guy in line politically, but Tony really looked the best in 08 of anyone on that stage.
Was Tony's conservative with his gear? He seemed like he was a conservative guy with gear.
He used what I would consider the right amounts, but it wasn't.
Well, but he was under Al Ria, remember?
Arthur L. Ray tried to help him out for a while, and Arthur claims that he enhanced his body parts by doing site injections. He's out of his mind. I loved Arthur. He was a great guy and good friend, but he was a little bit of a talker too.
Hey, Arthur, you always got to remember he supported our first show, man.
He did. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here today.
He wrote that book, Building the Perfect Beast, and he really outlined like the whole anabolics and everything, cycles and stuff.
Yeah, man, he was a good guy. I remember him. He had some hot chicks with him too.
Did you see what Lee said?
He
trained with Brian Buchanan when he lived in Australia, and he would go as heavy as he could and do a 1-inch movement. And he would say, "Lee, if it moves, it's a rep."
Oh shit! I like that, Lee. I like that.
Did Lee know that? Lee, did you know that Jax guy that passed away? Because Lee's in Australia, right?
Yeah, Lee said he did. He said he just trained with him 2 weeks ago.
Hey, Dave. Now let me ask you: did you see Brian Buchanan? Did you find a picture or no of Brian Buchanan?
Not a new picture. Where would I find it? Does he have a page?
It's been on the internet. I've seen it.
Oh.
I can't Google that shit.
And it must be real.
I'm on here.
Hey, by the way, did you get any of you guys soak this week?
I tried. I really tried. And
people love
failed.
But John, soaking in your right hand doesn't count.
No, I used my left, so I would think it was somebody else, so it would stay hard. No, it didn't work.
You just soak and then you just flex.
Right in like this, don't count.
The stranger, Romano, the stranger.
You can soak and you just flex what, and you can make the girl come with just flexing it,
Armand, are you now giving consultations on soaking?
Yeah.
To all the Mormons. To all the Mormons, he's giving you.
The Mormons need to soak.
Mormons need to soak.
Now that I know that, next single guy I know that's going to where do they live? Montana. All the Mormons, Idaho. Where?
No,
Utah.
Yeah, he's going to Utah for a soak convention.
Utah.
Who wants to soak?
Who's the ones that cut the holes in the sheets? You know what I mean?
Jews. Those are Jews. Jews.
That's the Jews. Is that to stop the smell? Is that to stop that smell?
No, you're not allowed to see your wife naked.
Not allowed to see her.
Get the fuck if it's your wife though.
Can't see her naked.
Bro, different cultures, different cultures.
Wasn't it supposed to also, John? Because if there was no blood on the sheet, like after you consummated the marriage, that would mean that she wasn't a virgin or something like that?
Oh no, the rabbi had to inspect the sheets after the wedding night or something.
No,
like
the
that.
rabbi had to fuck her first and say, "Yeah, she's a virgin."
Just think of all these other countries looking at us. They think we're crazy.
Oh my God! They must look at us and think, "Holy shit!"
I mean, look, all these girls like, these girls are doing.
We had to sabotage it in the last minutes of the show.
Why do the rabbis have to suck the kid's dick when they do the circumcision?
They don't do it. Stop that.
No,
Stop.
shut up, Greg. Come on,
no, it's
dude.
true, John.
No, dude.
It's not
true.
Greg, that is not true.
There's
bad
true.
people.
I swear to God, they put the
not true. Don't swear to God over that. That's not
There's
true.
bad people in everything. In Christianity, Buddhism.
That's not true.
There's bad people everywhere. There's
So I
bad
fell
people
for some
everywhere.
bullshit again. I fell for somebody's bullshit again, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like I said, look
I'm
at all
fucking
these other
gullible.
countries. Look at these other countries looking at us, and we have all these young girls doing OnlyFans, and like, look at these guys. It's terrible. These young girls are 18 and 19. They're showing their body to the world, for some of them good money, and that's out there for life. That's awful. So
Dude, look at the porn industry. Look at the porn industry. You got millions of girls doing porn, and the highest suicide rates, the highest rates of homelessness, drug abuse, alcoholism. It's
suicide.
The worst among porn stars.
You know what it is? Nobody wants to work. They all want to be influencers today because they.
Speaking of porn, John, did you see what happened with the? Did you see what happened with the? that new movie Wicked that came out?
No.
It's based on the Broadway show, but it's based on it's the Wizard of Oz essentially. It's a
My
new, it's
girlfriend's
updated version.
Ariana Grande. That's my girlfriend.
Ariana Grande, right? Exactly. And so the toys they have like a way to buy the toys online, and they put wicked.com, but wicked.com is actually a porn. They sell porn. That Wicked Entertainment.
Right.
So they put a porn site on the toys, on the back of the toy boxes for kids to go check out. And they made a mistake. It was supposed to be wickedtoys.com, and they put wicked.com. And
I don't believe it's a mistake. That's the left thinking.
Does that say $1,900 for a fucking toy?
I don't know.
John, that's the liberal that did that. They like that. They want kids watching porn, don't they? Aren't they into
it's $1,899.
There's weird shit everywhere. Like on my son's iPad the other day.
This is wicked.com. Look at this. It's a porn site. It's a porn site. But that's what they put on the back of the toys to go to wicked.com if you want to buy the toys. It's supposed to be wickedtv.com. Terrible.
Now you're gonna have all these kids.
So is there a recall, Dave? Did they recall?
No, but Mattel put out this thing saying, tell the parents to black out the thing on the box, and they're losing their mind over this. How could they have made such a terrible mistake? No one.
You really think they made that mistake on that many toys with that much money involved?
No.
Whoever did the ad copy made the mistake. Yeah.
I don't think it's a mistake.
You don't think it was on purpose?
I don't think these are mistakes.
They don't want to get sued. Are you kidding me? They didn't do that on purpose.
Mattel said you would be advised to throw out the box.
He's right. He said to throw the box out. Yeah.
So
the kids won't get the link to the website. Anyway, all right. Well, I think we did enough. I have a headache, which that usually means that's when we should end the show. So
I hear you.
Hold on. Lee sent me a picture. Let me see what he sent me. Hold on. I can only imagine what it is. I hope it's not his penis. At 18 years old with Brian Buchanan. Wow. All right, let me see if I can send this to myself. Hold on.
Brian Buchanan.
Well, that's a name.
When I went to vote the other day, I was up there 2.5 hours because they couldn't find me in the system, and I had to go talk to the judge there and go back and
Are you serious?
They kept telling me I had to go down to Dallas and do these other papers, and I'm like, and then my wife looks me up. And so my voter ID card had one number. And then my wife looks me up on the computer and it shows another number. And finally, I was able to vote, but I was there 2.5 hours because they couldn't find me anywhere. And I wasn't the only person. They were having problems with all the computers, and people were waiting because it was like they want people to get fed. Because I was at the point where it's like, I'm fed up. I'm just going to leave because I'm in Texas, and we're already good probably. So
They were going to kick me out because I wore a Roger Stone did nothing wrong shirt. Seriously.
Yeah, that was hysterical. That was
was
really
that?
fun.
I had to wear my jacket and cover the shirt because they weren't.
What's the reason to kick you out, though?
You're not allowed to promote anyone when you're in the polling place. That's why.
Roger Stone isn't running for anything.
He's got nothing to do with this election. The fact that
political.
Is just kind of
Nothing political. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing
Hold on, here's
political.
the picture.
We're doing after hours. This is fun.
Look at Lee at 18 with Brian
Look at
Buchanan.
Lee. Look at my boy Lee. Look at him. He looks great.
That's great. It's a great
I
picture.
love that. Look at Lee.
That's Lee at 18.
Yep.
All natural too. Yeah.
Yes, he was. Yes. Look at him.
I didn't know Brian Buchanan had such big arms. Those are huge, man. Look
No,
at
he
that.
was jacked, babe. I saw
That
him
was before
backstage.
people jimmied him up too.
His frontal
Yeah.
bicep was his best pose ever.
I
Yeah.
can't believe you can't find a picture of him now. Shit. He
He
was
tried to
jacked.
wrestle.
Let's remember when he looked his best. Why do we have to show a nasty picture of him now?
Yeah,
Oh, you told me. Oh my God! Are we after hours? Or are we like this is the G-rated one?
people are posting pictures of
I'm
themselves.
trying to
shirtless
figure
and they
out
don't
Since
look
when are
good.
we afraid to show it before, like an after?
Yeah, that's
picture?
true. You're right. You're right. I'm full of shit.
Thank you.
All right, let's thanks for joining us live again today. Mike Tyson fight on Netflix with Jake Paul this coming Friday, and then on
Oh, boy.
I believe it's Saturday is the Prague Pro Show with C-Bum in his open debut. We'll be doing a live play-by-play on that on RX Muscle here. For now, I'm Dave Palumbo with the entire Wack Pack. See you next week.
Sorry
Go
for the
later.
bad connection, man.